Today, queer people are at the forefront of literally everything, from politics to pop culture. And Black queer people are leading the charge. In the next hour, you'll meet some of my dear friends who are living, loving, and laboring out loud and inspiring us all to do the same. We are winning, and this is Pride. My first guest is former Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gillum. In the spring of 2017, Mayor Gillum made history as the first African American to run for governor in the state of Florida. He didn't win, but he received more votes than any other Democrat to date. And his campaign inspired a wave of Black candidates to run for office all across the country. When he conceded, he vowed not to leave the field, and he hasn't. Despite a painful and public scandal, he's still doing the work, and he's doing it with pride.
As you know, it has been way too long after spending practically, what was it, a whole half a year together.
We might as well live together. We pretty much did. Dorm.
That's right. And happy Pride, my sister. Happy Pride Month to you.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, it's exciting to do this special. It feels like it's coming full circle to talk to
so many ways,
so many different people about what Pride means to them, and to really talk about the personal side of the politics and the politics of Pride. And as our, one of our favorite gubernatorial candidates, and certainly a great mayor of a city, and now, someone who identifies as a member of the LGBTQ community, I am just honored to have you in this conversation. We would love to just start off by talking about, first of all, how you doing?
Yes, sis, I am doing, honestly, certainly better than I deserve. But that has been due to, and thanks to a lot of work, I got to tell you. I went away for rehab for longer than I'd like to admit. I spent probably way too much time there thinking that I'm not supposed to be here. And the moment that I let that judgment go, that self-judgment, that self-hate, that lack of grace go, and I started to feel into the fact that although I would have wished for a quieter way to get help, that's for sure. As Tyler Perry told me the day a year ago, March the 13th, Friday the 13th, he said, Andrew, I hate that this happened, man, but you never know what God may have been saving you from. And so that's a long way of putting it, but I am feeling good, I'm doing good, and every single day, several times a day, trying to just make the next best right decision for myself.
I'm so happy to hear that. And I know, too, that behind the scenes, you are right now busy doing the work, because once a political strategist and a political, you are always a political strategist. So
in some ways, you're the strategist. I was the guy y'all were telling what to do.
Well, now I hear that you are organizing and trying to help, impart some of your wisdom as a former elected official on current elected officials who happen to be Black LGBTQ folks. So can you talk to us a little bit about what you're up to?
Yeah, first I got to say, it is actually the exact reverse. They are going to be imparting on me their wisdom, but also on each other. Aisha, I'm so exceedingly happy, and I know this is work that you understand given your long history in politics and at the cross-section of politics and the LGBTQ movement, is that in 2020, while we had a huge presidential election, a lot of what went under the radar was the record number of LGBTQ plus candidates that got elected, everything from municipal office all the way up to federal office, including our two brothers, the first openly identified queer members of Congress who are Black and biracial in the case of Richie, Congressman Torres. So what we, along myself, my good friend David Johns, who you know, the executive director of the National Black Justice Coalition, are working to do is to catalyze the voices of these amazing and courageous public servants who are Black, who center their Blackness and their queerness right alongside each other, but also are extremely aware that while you may be able to suppress or hide or not show certain parts of your queerness, I know you can't hide the color of your skin. And so when anywhere I go, anywhere you see us, you're going to know I'm a Black man. And for that, there is a cost. And we want the movement to know, but moreover, we want public policy to reflect the beauty of what it means to be Black and queer and to live in a world and in a community that I would like to just affectionately describe as the beloved community. And we've already begun trying to organize what I think will be near close to 100 Black queer elected officials from around the country so that they know they are not alone in this work, first and foremost, but also that there's a way that we can get into some good trouble together and create the kind of communities that we believe we all deserve.
Good trouble. I love that. This good trouble crew that you're pulling together is already clearly riling things up all around the country. And I think about you and your service and your career. And you have always been a staunch progressive there, 100%, 150% for equity, for justice, for all people, obviously LGBTQ people included in that. And I wonder how much of your framework for your political beliefs really came from who you were, who you thought you might be, and, a reckoning around that.
Yeah, I mean, Aisha, you know this. I grew up in a pretty poor area of Miami-Dade County to my mother, who was a school bus driver growing up, and my dad, who was a construction worker. I'm one of 7 kids, 6 boys and 1 girl, and she's the baby, number 7. And growing up, my brother right above me, the closest to me, my brother Terrence, shared with my mom and dad that he was gay. And he and I would have these conversations. And part of what delayed my own self-identity, to be quite honest, is I was mapping what I was feeling to what my brother was expressing. And it wasn't all the way matching up. Because he wasn't interested in girls, wasn't interested in women. I still was very much. And I didn't understand what it meant to both be attracted to men and to women and try to reconcile that. There were not a lot of models for it. There was not, frankly, for me, any. And so I guess my politics on it really grew out of the fact that my closest brother was gay, and I would never, ever want a world under which he would ever have to make the same decisions that he made during that time, where he literally left the state of Florida, moved all the way across the country to Los Angeles just so that he could feel some sense of equity, normality, or that he fit in.
Thinking about all of this and all of your, evolution and the way that now in organizing this network of Black LGBTQ leaders, you're thinking about how they can then go off and transform and what they should be doing. What's that call to action? What's the charge for this Good Trouble Network?
Yeah, well, as you already know, being able to, as a Black person, particularly given some of the issues around sexuality in our community. I mean, as a community of Black folks, we have largely been more conservative in this space, and many of us are still trying to make that transition. So these electeds are already pretty darn courageous and brave. And what my highest hope for them is that even within the LGBTQ organizing space, that they don't have to diminish their race in order to feel greater affinity with the LGBTQ community. Plus, they can do it all. And what does that mean for us? That means, yes, we should be able to get married if we want to get married, but yes, we should also be able to walk down the street, to go get a tea and some Skittles, and have a reasonable expectation of arriving at home alive. Mm-hmm. Yes, you should be able to maybe make a mistake and not have to pay for that mistake with your life being snuffed out unnecessarily because the color of your skin terrifies the person, the law enforcement officer or anyone else who stands in front of you. And so my hope is that this network will, one, be able to create the kind of public policy solutions that give us all the freedom to just be, to just exist as we are. And then number two, and this is a more subtle form of the goal, is that by lifting up this cadre of Black queer folk in this country who are leading, who are deciding, who are serving at the pinnacles of government at every level in this country, that they will, in silent ways, by their representation, give permission to that little Andrew who knew I wanted to serve in public service in some way, shape, or form, know that I don't have to sacrifice any part of myself. I don't have to shrink any, diminish any, cover up any part of who I am in order to also live out that part of my mission, which says, I'm here to be of service and into service of others. And I think in addition to creating the laws that make that true, I think these folks will live and walk that and breathe that and example that, where it won't be a thing for the folks who will come behind them.
It warms my heart to see him in his power and purpose. One of my favorite quotes that Andrew used on the campaign trail was that people shouldn't be judged forever by their worst day. I am so glad he's given himself that same grace and that he's giving so much back to the next generation of LGBTQ leaders.